The following program contains shocking portrayals of action. If you suffer from cowardice, Randall may not be right for you. Check with your video game supplier.
Proclaiming the truth in the highways and byways of the world. Fighting for justice in the dark alleys of politics. Raising the voice of resistance to a fevered pitch. The host who has no equal. He uses sweet and low. Randall Terry.
Welcome to the program, friend. Yes, I am a right-wing whack job, and Jesus said, "Blessed are you when men hate you, revile you, persecute you, cast your name out as evil, separate you from their company." Oh yes, he said, "In that day, rejoice, leap for joy." That's the way they treated the prophets that were before you. Today's top stories are going to be a learning expedition for your soul. Father Frank Pavone, the head of Priests for Life, says in a frantic fundraising letter that your pro-life mission is in jeopardy. And Americans United for Life join up with 30 respected pro-life groups to vomit useless dribble. We're going to read that. And Senator Jeff Sessions from Alabama says that Kagan is dangerous. Ooh. Today's program brought to you in part by National Right to Life Committee, helping to continue child killing by endorsing pro-abortion candidates for nearly a generation, and by Americans United for Life, keeping you in the cyber ghetto, a ghetto within the ghetto. I'm going to take a quick break and let my good friend Captain Scurvy talk to you, but when I come back, I promise you, this is going to be one of the most intense, educational, at points inspirational, and distressing shows I have ever done. Because it's time, ladies and gentlemen, to open up the carcass of much of the pro-life movement and to look at the maggots and the vermin that are crawling around inside. And finally, it's going to dawn on some of us why we're losing and why 50 million children are dead. Don't go away.
Ahoy, matey. I'm still waiting for me check from British Petroleum. But I'll tell you this before I say another word. The people in the Obama administration, them's who the pirates are, I tell you. Them's the pirates. It's not us who are trying to make an honest living. It's the people in Washington, D.C. that stab you in the back while they tell you that they're your friend and they're making life better for you. No, you're better off on a pirate ship with me than a pirate ship with Captain Obama, I tell ya.
Welcome back to today's program, friend. One of the reasons that you and I have a free country is because of the "Give me liberty or give me death" speech by Patrick Henry. What most people don't know is that he was giving that speech spontaneously in response to a bill that was proffered in the Rump legislature that would require the Virginians to negotiate more with the King of England. And it was put forward by friends of his, people that he respected. But he, in effect, said, "I fear God more than I fear men, more than I fear the people in this room. And I have to speak plainly and clearly because so much is at stake." Read the "Give me liberty or give me death" speech and see for yourself. I'm going to use this program in a little bit different way today. And as I said at the beginning, it's going to be somewhat distressful, but it will also be very inspirational. I'm even going to quote from my Bible. So for those of you who are not used to that type of a television program, bear with me because the words of God as found in the Old and New Testament are the best words in the universe, the most wise, the most prudent, helping to build nations. And when God called Jeremiah, I want to read to you what he said. In remembering what I'm about to say to you, he said, "I have set you this day over against the nations and over kingdoms, over the nations and over kingdoms, to root out, to pull down, to destroy, to throw down, to build and to plant." So there comes a time when things are so bad that God said to him, there are 4 negative things you have to do: overthrow, tear down, destroy. Then build, and plant. Read it for yourself. It's in Jeremiah chapter 1. I'm going to spend time today plucking down, tearing down. I don't do it with relish. I do it with grief. But there is so much at stake. There is more at stake today than there was with Patrick Henry. Because in Patrick Henry's day, they were fighting for representation. They were fighting against basically tyranny from the British Parliament and from King George III. We're fighting against a government that wants to slaughter millions of innocent human beings, that wants to ram homosexual marriage down our throat, that wants to take away our right to self-defense, that wants to make us slaves to their federal plantation. So much is at stake today. Now, I'm going to be focusing on the pro-life movement in the next few minutes of this show. I admit that. But listen to me. Those of you who are Tea Party people, those of you who are interested in defending our Second Amendment rights, those of you whose passion is to end the tyranny of our oppressive taxes, those of you who are committed to marriage being between a husband and a wife, not a man and a man or a woman and a woman, you can learn from what I'm about to tell you. And you can learn, you'll start to get a scent. You'll start to learn to smell when you're being had, when there's treachery, when there's manipulation. And so I'm going to begin with Father Frank Pavone's letter from Priests for Life, and then I'm going to go to Americans United for Life, to their letter to the U.S. Senators. And I want you to know up front, what you're about to hear is the stuff that defeat is made of. These letters are the stuff that defeat is made of. And for that reason, because babies' lives are at stake, I am not going to mince words. Father Frank Pavone from Priests for Life said, and I quote, and you can see the words on your screen, "Your mission to end abortion is in serious jeopardy." My wife forwarded me this email because it said, "Andrea, your mission to end abortion is in serious jeopardy." So she forwarded it to me. "I've sent you this urgent email because your mission to end abortion is in serious jeopardy." Wow, what's going on? For years, you've dedicated your life to saving innocent babies from the terrible horror of abortion. Your absolute and unwavering commitment to the youngest members of the human family is beyond question. Your loyal and generous support of this work, the work of Priests for Life, proves it. Oh, you mean because I give you money? You mean all that was about me giving you money? Oh yeah, listen. But Priests for Life is in a huge financial hole. I just met with our finance department, and the outstanding bills have reached a critical stage. It's $800,000. And the only way that we can overcome this horrible debt is if you click here and give us money right now. Wait a minute. You told me that my pro-life mission was in jeopardy. My fight to end abortion was in jeopardy. And now you're telling me this is about your debt? It gets worse. I'm counting on you, your help, because our financial crisis here at Priests for Life threatens to derail your pro-life mission. Father Frank, I talk to you as a friend, okay? Listen to me. No, it doesn't. I don't know who wrote this copy. I don't know who signed off on it. And all of you watching on television, in the various markets we're in, you need to learn the lesson of what's going on here. This is manipulation. And it's not true. And listen to this, it gets worse. Our financial crisis here at Priests for Life threatens to derail your pro-life mission. That's because thanks to you and partners like you, Priests for Life is the voice of America's pro-life movement. Which means Priests for Life is your voice when it comes to speaking out for the unborn. Father Frank, no, it's not true. Priests for Life has not had any press over fighting Kagan. Google Priests for Life and Elena Kagan. See what you come up with. Do a Google news search on it. If you were the voice for the pro-life movement, you would have been fighting tooth and nail against Elena Kagan, because right now that's the biggest battle we're facing. And furthermore, people watching on television, listen to me, you can't give up your voice. You can't put tape over your mouth and send somebody money and say, "You're my voice now." No, this is horrifying. Because what it says is, hey, you back home, You know how you can really show that you're a strong pro-life advocate? Give us money. That is disgusting. And it's not true. And it's why we're losing. It's why we have millions of dead babies, because people like you, people like my friends think that, oh, just send us money. Yeah, that's it. Just send us money and you don't have to do anything. That shows the height and the depth and the breadth of your commitment to the pro-life cause, the amount of money that you send. This is abominable. Do you think that we would have a free republic? Do you think that the American Revolution would have been successful if Thomas Jefferson and Patrick Henry just said to people, hey, you don't have to fight the Brits. Just send us money. Never mind picking up a squirrel gun. Never mind joining George Washington up there in Valley Forge. Just send us money. It's obscene. I've got to take a break. When we come back, I'm going to continue with this letter for the educational purpose of what I'm doing. Then I'm going to move on to Dr. Charmaine Yost, or Yost, however you say her name, and Americans United for Life. This is disgusting. This makes Father Frank's letter look like a message from God. Don't go away. I'll be right back.
Churchill is famous for his comment, "Never give up." He learned that from Randall. Now, look how he's stolen the glory.
Moments with Moses. Cursed shall you be in the city, and cursed shall you be in the field.
Welcome back to the program, friend. And in case you're wondering, yes, I'm upset because babies are being butchered and because nonsense fundraising schemes and scams are literally cutting the guts out of people who should be fighting in their own community and lifting up their own voice. And they're being told, oh no, we're your voice. I got to finish with this quickly and move on to the next letter. Father Frank goes on to say that this is why it's so important for you to give us money. We need to raise $800,000 to get out of debt, and then an additional $2 million for November 2nd so that America will choose life during the election. Whoa. Priests for Life is a 501c3 nonprofit tax-exempt organization. They don't get involved in campaigns. They had the chance to send out an email with a bishop from Texas, Bishop Cressida, who said specifically in 2008 that a Catholic cannot in good conscience vote for Obama. Did they send that out to their email list like they're sending out this letter? No. Why not? Because they're afraid of losing their tax-exempt status. So in other words, they put money ahead of babies' lives. Yeah, why isn't there a fight coming against Kagan? Why is there fundraising saying we're your voice? Why aren't they saying no to Kagan, no to Kagan? Because they can't lobby more than 5% of their budget. So they're not even saying anything. Which leads to my next letter from Americans United for Life. This is disgusting. This is not Christian. This is anti-God. Listen to me. More than 30 respected national and state organizations, blah, 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 sent the following letter to all 100 senators. Listen to what it says. The undersigned organization want to express our strong opposition to Elena Kagan. And they go on to talk about partial birth abortion and what she did in the Clinton administration. And then they finally end up saying, we urge you to conduct a thorough investigation before casting your vote on her confirmation. That's it. Conduct a thorough investigation. Not one time in this whole letter do they say filibuster her, vote against her. They never say murder. They never say slaughter. They never say the word pro-life. They never say the word baby. How dare you say that you're representing the pro-life movement? Oh, we're respected groups, and you don't say the word baby? You're pathetic. You're treacherous. And let me tell you something. Listen closely to me. It's not God. It's actually anti-God. You want to be respected? The Bible says in the book of Hebrews, let us go with Christ. Go with him outside the city gate, bearing his reproach. Yeah, that's what it means to be Christian. Jesus in Philippians chapter 2, he took on himself the form of a servant. This humiliation happened, more and more humiliation, till he took up death on the cross. He died on the cross. Jesus said, woe to you when all men speak well of you. Well, then my final Bible passage for this, and we got to take a break, is this. You want to be respected, Charmaine? You 30 pro-life groups who haven't done anything to fight Kagan, call for a filibuster. You want to be respected? Listen to what Jesus said. No servant can serve two masters, for he'll either hate one or love the other. He'll be devoted to one or despised by the other. You cannot serve God and mammon. The Pharisees, who were lovers of money, heard all this, and they scoffed at him. But he said to them, you are those who justify yourselves before men, but God knows your heart. For what is exalted among men is an abomination in the sight of God. You hear that, Americans United for Life? It's highly exalted among men. It's an abomination in the sight of God. And Christ was talking in Luke chapter 16. Look it up. Luke 16. He was talking about money. The reason that these groups don't say anything is about money. Oh, we can't get involved in the elections. We can't get involved in lobbying against Kagan. We'll lose our 501c3 tax-exempt status. Oh, what you're saying is that your money, your cash flow, is more important than the babies being butchered. You are traitors. You serve mammon. You don't serve God. It's anti-God. You're not serving God. You're not serving life. I'm going to take a quick break. When we come back, I'm going to show you what pro-lifers do. We were out in the streets today in Washington, D.C. Give you a look. Don't go away.
Look, when you get as famous as me, you got to do your own car work too, okay? Don't be alarmed. I'm a professional on a closed track.
It is a fine thing to be honest, but it is also very important to be right. Sir Winston Churchill. All right, let me show you what real pro-lifers do. And by the way, I know that this is controversial. It's meant to be. Watch. Now we're going to play Beat the Graham Pinata. It's a new game. It's a lot of fun.
American people speaking against the pro-abortion senator.
What do you think about this kind of activity?
Oh, that's America. That's America. They can express their views. Absolutely, they have a right to explain their views, and that's what they're doing. This is a democracy.
I'm not going to accept this, Lindsey Graham.
The fruit of Senator Graham's treachery is aborted babies.
3,500 every day aborted. Thank you, Lindsey Graham. We thought you were pro-life.
He deceived the pro-life movement, and may God hold him accountable for his treachery. These are the size of unborn babies at 11 weeks. You Boy Scouts, grow up to be strong and true. God bless you. You're doing a great job.
Thank you. Thank you, dear.
When a woman has her baby killed at 11 weeks, they reassemble the two arms, the two legs. If part of the baby is left behind inside of the woman's uterus, the woman can go into septic shock and can die.
Senator Flip-Flop.
You want to crack at the pinata? Come on over.
A man who's killing babies.
Oh,
Slapping Senator Flip-Flop.
Oh, yeah, nice and hard. Oh, yeah.
We're going to be kind to him. We don't need to be angry. I mean, as Christians, we can't say that we're going to be pro-life and then try to punch a senator in the face because he killed somebody. That's completely...
So if he killed somebody, so when Jesus overthrew the tables and was chasing people with a whip and hitting them with a whip, what do you think about that?
Where's that from?
He actually did it in John chapter 2.
John chapter 2. I haven't heard that story, so I'm not familiar with that, so I can't respond.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here protesting Lindsey Graham, who has betrayed the voters of South Carolina. He hung the babies out to dry. He hung the voters of South Carolina out to dry. And so we're going to hang his political career out to dry. Lindsey Graham has blood on his hands.
I'll be right back with a POW challenge for you. They sacrificed their sons and their daughters to the demons. They poured out innocent blood, the blood of their sons and daughters, whom they sacrificed to the idols of Canaan, and the land was polluted with blood. Thomas Jefferson said, "As our enemies have found, we can reason like men. So now let us show them we can fight like men also." Jeff Sessions said, "Elena Kagan is dangerous. Ooh." Father Frank Pavone goes on to say, the pro-life movement is winning. The pro-life movement is winning. No, we're not. If we can reason like men, let's fight like men. Let's not sell people some scam that we're winning when we're in fact losing. And let's not say Elena Kagan is dangerous and then not fight to end her political career. Let's fight like men, like Thomas Jefferson said. Come on, go to terrycast.com and learn more what you could do to fight. God bless you.